embodied in NEPA, we believe there may be opportunities to significantly increase the efficiency of these processes through targeted adjustments in policy and implementation. Would you please be specific or expand on that for me?
Thanks very much. Let me give a real specific example. Just recently, I was in Arkansas on the Ozark National Forest, participating in a collaborative group meeting and then a 2-day field trip. And the way the NEPA planning projects work there is just remarkable. It's so different from some of these other areas that I've been. For instance, on the Deschutes, I've been out on that project also with the collaborative group. They're able to do a very large area, to have it under a NEPA plan that explains all the kind of activities they want to do, but doesn't get tied down to 1 acre or another acre. It ties very much down into the description of the sites and the description of the treatments and expectation of the treatments. And so they're able to do large areas, and the forests just look wonderful. They're doing terrific projects across ownerships in a common way. It's an exciting kind of example. I think there's a number of other examples around the country where they're able to use NEPA and to get more innovative. I think that's something we all need to work together to figure out more ways of making it faster and larger scale where appropriate, get more of the public involved quickly.
So basically, people agreed on what they wanted to look like when they were done.
Yes.
Right? In terms of, okay, we have proper spacing now, we've removed it. Why doesn't, I mean, we've given you some tools, HIFRA, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Why don't, you know, what he's talking about there, why can't we do that in other areas and do it more so that we can expedite these larger scale projects? Some kind of programmatic EIS or something that covers a large area.
Mr. DeFazio, that is something the Forest Service is pursuing.
Okay, well, what do you need to more successfully and more quickly pursue it? Do you need more staff? Do we need to make adjustments to HIFRA or other laws? What do you need to use it more broadly, more quickly, and so we aren't spending 10 times as much to suppress a fire as opposed to prevent it?
I'm not sure that we do need anything at the moment. We just do it. This large landscape approach has shown promise, especially in the east. We've moved it to the Black Hills. We want to try it in other places as well.
Okay, well, I'd invite you to try it in particularly east side Oregon, where I think we have had some collaborative process and where there is widespread agreement about the risk, the fire risk. I'd like to turn to something the chairman raised. I'm concerned about the tankers. I mean, I think it was 15 or more years ago, we were talking about the decrepit state of the tanker fleet, and since then things got a lot worse, and then we grounded the whole thing a couple of years ago. This doesn't look like a process that's unfolding very quickly in terms of reinforcing our tanker fleet. I saw a demonstration of this massive dump that could be adjusted out of an evergreen plane. I think it's either a DC-10 or a 747. I mean, are there things out there we could be using this year, you could contract for, and also what do you need to do to move ahead more quickly with acquisition of an adequate fleet?
Several things, sir. Our original tanker fleet, which is...
I know all about the original tanker fleet.
Yeah,
World War II, right? Okay.
Correct. That's diminished to the point that we only have 7 of those airplanes left. They're under what we call a legacy contract for the next 5 years. The next generation contract is 7 more planes, and we're testing out new models. Our specifications were that they fly faster and they carry more of a load. And so the planes that bid and were successful under that are going to be doing it. And we will see those in flight, I say, this summer. The other part of that is in this mix, it becomes important that the government owns some of these planes, we believe. So government-owned, contractor-operated. Currently, the best option for that is the C-27s from the military.
Okay, and you had this study from RAND that said you should use scoopers, and you decided that was a bad idea. I think I've seen the biggest scooper I've seen, I think, is actually a Russian model. And so you don't, I'm not advocating buying Russian planes, but I'm just saying scoopers can't work, or what's the deal?
Scoopers are like helicopters. They're water delivery and not retardant delivery. They are effective.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I appreciate the fact that your constituents have heard you actually propose communist buys here. That's really great. Thank you. Mr. McClintock, do you have actually an additional question or two?
Thank you. I want to go back to Mr. Douglas, again regarding the Reading fire.